Okay, so welcome to the MMG podcast. I'm Ryan, and today we are joined by Gilbert. Gilbert, tell us about who you are and what you do.
Hello, Ryan. My name is Gilbert Wayenborgh. I'm from I'm in France actually, and I think you hear it on my accent. A small bit, perhaps a big bit. I don't know. I started in on web TV in about 2015. About 10 years ago, and someone asked me if I would like to take a web radio,
Hmm.
and I said yes, okay, but we had no one who was able to talk to the radio to make an what we called a podcast in that years, and I said, well, if I want to make it known, I need to go to video. So as I was in the internet business since 1995,
Hmm.
I said, okay, we're taking webcam and we're going on, and they all left. And about 6 months later, came out Facebook Live, and I said, okay, I go on Facebook Live. We try out, and I think on the first weeks when we started to make our podcast, we had about 100 100 people who are listening to us. And with Facebook Live, from that day on, we came up to 10,000 on live.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, there's it's this way we got to go. We have to learn about streaming. We have to learn about video, and that's how it started. And it went on about, well, with this radio, I worked on it for about 2 or 3 years. It worked very fine. Okay, we didn't get always 10,000 people watching, but there was still an audience, and we had a real community around this production. And um, it was this time I learned all about it.
Hmm.
I learned about how to stream. I learned how to do video with no money or nearly no money. And I found, I think, as many people do it today also, I found it on YouTube how to do it. And okay, first I started with OBS, and very fast, I think a year later or so, I jumped in vMix,
Hmm.
and I learned it all with vMix.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, we use vMix day in, day out.
Yeah.
We use OBS more so for sort of minor nuance kind of things, little bits. Um, I actually did try vMix as well prior to COVID, and thought that it wouldn't catch on. At that point, I thought it'd be bad. I revisited it obviously a few years later when COVID was occurring, and it was totally different ball game. And yeah, we've embraced it ever since, really, to the point that we've got our product, the MMG Axis, and we've made sure that's open so that you can use that with vMix, TriCaster, OBS, whatever that you prefer.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's interesting to see what's sort of popping up on social media as well. That's actually the way in which I've seen what you're doing via LinkedIn. Now, my social feeds just reflect AV over IP to me, always, right? Because that's what I'm doing, and I know the whole world's not there yet.
No.
But what this is, and the idea of talking to different people in different countries about it, is to see where the general flow is at the moment, whether certain countries are ahead of the game, or whether it's just sort of across the board that actually there's a few people making movement and showing the way, and then others that can choose the direction. So for you, what was the main reason for going towards AV over IP?
I show it to you. It's money.
Hmm.
I don't know, just to precise, because it's not only a money problem, but um, when I started, I had a, how you call it? It's it's like an association. I don't know the real term. It's not a company. It's not a private company.
Hmm.
It's not a administration. It's uh, something done on your own. So we had no money, and I didn't have the money to buy more computers or more materials. So I had to how to put in 6 or 7 webcams on my stage and to film with it. And
Hmm.
well, okay, I take one computer and set it to the next one. And how can I connect these 2 computers to each other? And the idea is uh, NDI. NDI was my first reflection. That's made me move to vMix, and I saw the videos and so on from I think it's Andrew Cross who made vMix, or who
Hmm.
sold who bring it on the market. And okay, it was free. It was free. It's nearly plug and play. And well, okay, I tried to put my 2 computers who were next to each other and put it on together to have a complete set with well, I think it was 6 or 7 webcams. It was really rubbish. Sorry, it was not. It was real amateur, and it was easy. It was easy to understand. It was easy to as the people joined me on the in the studio, and who worked for me for free, as we had no money. So I told them, okay, you do it this way, and it's easy to understand. And so we connected it. And so I jumped in AVOIP really fast, because streaming is um, is already over IP.
Hmm.
You do normal streaming, do it on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere. It's already video over IP. And as I said, I was so surprised about the first months where we took Facebook Live, about the audience and the visibility it gave. And I said, okay, there is something to do, and I need to bring it to the companies. And so I jumped really into this, and I learned about, well, a bit more about NDI, but I also learned about in the different sets or studios I could work in. Okay, there are other protocols like SRT, and I jumped also in and took the idea. Okay, what can I do with it?
Hmm.
And I think it was with the COVID and just behind it. I said, okay, if video over IP, it gives me the possibility to remote work. Because on the first weeks of the COVID, I was thinking, okay, I go back to internet business, normal business, and I leave the video behind it.
Hmm.
I was thinking about it, and then about 2 or 3 weeks in the COVID in the first COVID months, um, I saw the first YouTube's tutorials and podcasts and so on, speaking about remote production and speaking about video over IP. And there I really understood that this is the way we should go. And I talked with, with companies where I worked in their studios, and I said, forget about SDI. It's rubbish. I told it this way, well, with a smile, but I did it a little bit cash speaking, and you have to go to this. This is the direction. It's over IP. It's on the simple Ethernet cable. You bring it all in.
Hmm. Yeah, no, we love it. We love it. Obviously, all of our workflows, are all based around this now.
Yeah.
So we've deployed these kind of setups in live production environments. So all the screens in the room, all of the comfort monitors, everything is all done using NDI, and various other sort of network formats. We also have it so that the control desk, like we've kind of pushed the video switcher, that's gone. So we literally run the Axis. We have that as a core machine with everything. So the general signal conversion, like you say about SDI. So we have on there 4 SDI inputs. Well, they're bi-directional actually, but the concept there is to actually bridge between this broadcast and production world, because
Yeah.
so often you go in and it's like, well, actually there are 3 cameras that are on SDI, and it's like, right, okay, let's get them in then. Let's get them in so that everyone can have them. And
Exactly.
this is the thing, like the collaboration, you're saying like remotely, but even just in the room, the workflow is totally different. Oh, I need to see that feed. Well, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
before it's cable runs.
it's I think the first studio where I worked in, there was an old old. I'm not young too. I'm also 60, but my colleague who was, I think, for 30 or 40 years in audiovisual, SDI, 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 and I said no, try out, and he said no, there's latency, no, there's problems, conversion, and so on and so on. I said okay, forget it. He stayed on SDI. But the factor is there are a lot of people, and still today, who are having or SDI or HDMI. They do conversion to SDI or HDMI, and then they have their TriCaster, the Blackmagic design, or what so, and they don't think about how to talk to each other. And there, I saw your product a few days ago, and yes, that's it. That's the bridge between the two. We have to find it.
Well, this is the idea, you see, and then obviously further down the line, it may be that we don't need to bridge these things anymore because we've all got one common space, right? But at the moment, that is what we need, like in terms of the live production sector, and the reliability as well. The idea, is that any technician can work it. It's been designed from that point of view, and they know what to expect. Just like if you go and you're in audio tech, like I used to do, general tech work, well, over a decade ago now, but hey, and you'd walk in and you'd sort of see a new sound desk, and as long as it fitted in with, like an Annan and Heath, a Yamaha, whatever, then it was all going to be, okay, basically. But if it was a random brand that was like full of hiss and all sorts of stuff, then that's no good, is it? So it's just about like making this common ground where we know that actually, well, that's where everything happens. That's where it all gets changed around. And yeah, that's the idea, really. Just try and make people's lives easier.
Yeah, I think it's the problem for the people, actually, for audiovisual technicians. The problem is they don't know, or they don't have learned to do IT networking. I have learned it in my past. I'm I'm not very young, but I started with this with IT networking. And as soon as you know IT networking, you have all the how you call it. You have all the connections inside to solve problems. To solve problems, to connect if the IP is incorrect, if the ports are incorrect, or whatever it can happen. And a technician who is working who have learned only audiovisual, he doesn't matter about IT. It doesn't matter about IP networking. So I think they have a little, well, as I told you just minutes ago about my SDI colleague, for them it's complicated. Even though if you find tutorials on IP networks and so, or the tutorials from UTech or from Netgear or from all these guys, you learn it really easily.
The Netgear, like obviously we've sort of rooted for them quite a lot since that kicked off. But the training, like we've done the in person with our teams, that's really good. Anything online, all of those academies, they've been really useful,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is no different as well. Like I wanted to sort of let technicians know that it's not that scary, right? Like you learn how to do your day-to-day video, audio, whatever previously. There's nothing different here. It's just signal flow and just
It's
some words, isn't it? You know, it's like just different terminology.
it's exactly that. And how you tell? I see a lot of young people. Okay, I'm 60. Okay, um, I should normally go sooner or later. It will be later. Go to my pension. So stop working. But when I started on audiovisual, I was 50 only. So I learned all about it, and I still learn it today. I still learn. Still learn how NDI works, or well, not how it works, but uh, points and bits, and also on the other protocols on SRT, on ST2110, on IPMX, and so on. I'm still learning, and I think what has to be told to many people is to be curious and to either to learn or try out. And when you try out, okay, you will miss it. You will make many errors, but at a point or another, you will achieve it, and then you adopt it.
Yeah. Like obviously, you know, it would be foolish to just jump in, wouldn't it? And not test it.
I
Um
I did it, but okay, I had time to do it. There was no pressure. But when you're on pressure, yeah, you have to learn it.
well, we had initially two layers, so we'd have everything set up in the old way, and then we'd have everything set up with network, NDI, etc., and run both.
Yeah.
But the thing was that our clients would often say, "Oh, I'm glad we didn't have to go into that because it was a bit unknown." The truth of the matter was we were running it as primary very quickly, and the SDI runs and everything else were underneath as a secondary layer. So we've seen, you know, just big jumps all the way through. You mentioned the SMPTE 2110. So I think a lot of people are curious about that as well. Don't necessarily understand the whys or what you would do with it. Are you using that at the moment or?
No, no. I studied it because I have customers in broadcast, and I wanted to learn why do they use it?
Mhm.
Why are they so focused on ST2110? Because it's not cheap. It's uncompressed, and well, you have to. It's big networks. It's a huge bandwidth who
Mhm.
is consumed. So it costs a lot of money. Um, and the difference between an full NDI and ST2110 is a little compression.
Mhm.
What for?
Well, so this is the thing, right? So what's your view then? Do you think that we maybe don't need that little bit of compression, or do you see the
No,
use case?
no,
Or
no. I think when you're watching TV, I have a great TV in my living room. Um, it's 4K, and so, but all programs are not in 4K. TV
no?
programs are mostly on Full HD. Netflix is on Full HD. Amazon Prime, I think so also. They're all on Full HD. Why making 4K or 8K when I listen to it? And are these people thinking of bandwidth? Are they thinking of what it costs uh, on the bandwidth on the network, but also on the hardware on the
Mhm.
disks? it costs a lot. So I'm not sure of the interest.
I
I'm
think
really not. I'm really
we've
not sure.
we've
So
seen broadcast interested, but yeah,
yes,
not any other avenue really.
there's. I think my wife has big spectacles and she has problems with you. But when she's watching TV, it doesn't matter if it's HD or 4K or 8K. Okay, we watched some films or so on DVD or on Blu-ray, and we're watching it. Wow, great pictures, but it's not normal program.
Yeah.
It's
And
not day
also,
to
you're
day.
not watching it in
It's not
8K, are you?
no.
Like, yeah,
Okay, my webcam is a 4K, but I I don't believe I use it as a 4K.
interesting nonetheless, man. I wanted to explore it because I know that there's a lot of talk around that, as I say. But personally, my sort of mainstay is NDI all the way
Yeah,
through. Put that on the Netgear Pro switches, and then you've got a reliable network that moves quickly and can do most things. That's kind of
it's I told people mostly when I do once per year I do some conferences in exhibitions like the
mhm.
CETIS in Paris, and I do it mostly on IP. And I, I told once, well, NDI is plug and play. For most of us who have four, perhaps more cameras, but mostly 4 to 8 cameras, it's plug and play.
Mhm.
It's simple to set up. Well, nearly simple, um, but it works. It's easy to use to understand. Okay, there might be some latency, but it's not excessive.
No, and the latency depends on the way your network is set up as well, right? Like, and I think that often follows because if you're perhaps just using, I don't know, maybe producing a podcast, but just that's what you do in your spare time, then you really don't need to worry about the latency then because you just record in your cameras and everything else, do your cut and edit. That's great. It's only when you get into the serious idea of doing sort of iMag in the venue over the equipment that it starts to become really
Yes,
relevant.
yes.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. Point to point contact as well, hybrid, so that when you're connecting two spaces, you want that to be in real time, right? Um, but again, that's sort of under 200 milliseconds. That's what happens on a Teams call. That's fine. That works. So I don't know, where does it all end? That's the thing.
I think sometimes it's I think it's 2 or 3 pictures per second were
Mhm.
lost. Um, well, how does our human eye can see it?
Well, some technicians would say yes, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, of course. Technicians. Okay, I have learned photography. Um, okay, I see when it's wrong, when the photography is wrong, when it's not sharp, when it's not correct or so. But most people don't see it.
hmm Yeah, with
Tech-
this, yeah, same with sound as well, isn't it? If you go to a show and sort of you can hear the slight ring somewhere, and everyone else is quite
yes.
happy, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
You sort of, I've done that before, and then sort of said, "Did you not hear it when it did that?" Oh, no, didn't have a clue. Um, is there anything else like you wanted to sort of let people know about AV over IP? If not, then I'm going to just ask a couple of questions about yourself, really, actually. But if there's anything that you think's useful for people to know,
You have to go. You have to go to the video for IP. It's on the way. It's on. Well, a lot of people are already using it. And if you think of other technology who are coming, like AI and so on, well, you need IP. you need it. You can't afford it to go without IP. So you have to jump in, and for me, it's seemed to be more important than SDI stuff and, and so on.
I think it just opens doors, doesn't it? Makes more things possible. Like we have clients where we're putting like these access into sort of some of the venues now just to test so they can see how it works and what it
Yeah,
does. Um, and now they're able to have on their mobile phone an app that they can check all the signals. So they're
it's
already walk into a room to help the client if there's a problem. Whereas before, they would be getting a client that was already feeling annoyed, come into them saying it's not working. Instead, they're greeted by a member of staff that says, I already know this is not working. That's why I'm here to see you. I'm going
yeah.
to do this, this, this. Great, thanks. Like it just changes everything. It really does. Um, I had several events running at the same time. And in my office, I was just connected on NDI Bridge, and I was able to just join all these different shows. I didn't have to chase anyone and say, how's it going? What's happening? I was able to see what was happening. I was able to see it was all okay and then just
Abs-
carry on. So
Absolutely.
just opens doors. Have you got, and this is just a question that I ask anyone that comes on our podcast actually, any advice for anyone wanting to get into the industry now? Like perhaps a way in or advice on what they should do first?
First, take your phone. I just give you the example. I had a friend of mine who asked me to set up a web TV for him, and I said, "Okay, you got money?" No, as always. I'm telling me, take your phone. Go ahead, take your phone. Make as simple as you want to show up, and then jump in.
Hmm.
And jump in this audiovisual playground. And okay, as soon as you got your phone, you got the IP, you will need to understand what you can. Oh, you can do multicam with your phone, and so on. And they learn very fast this way,
Hmm.
to jump in. Okay, I won't film with my smartphone. Well, I do it sometimes, but it's very rare. I prefer cameras, and um, but you can start in with a few hundred pounds. You jump in, and then
Hmm.
learn. I remember the 6 or 7 webcams I told in the beginning. Um, this was these webcams. Perhaps I
Oh
don't know.
yeah,
You see that?
yeah,
I
familiar with
started with
those.
this one. It's horrible, but it still works. And a friend of mine told me you cannot put 6 webcams on your laptop. I said what? And then in my garden, on the summer holidays in my garden, I sat with my laptop. I had 6 webcams around me and tried out how to set them up. It
Hmm.
worked. It worked 1 or 2 times, but it worked.
Yeah.
So yes, if you try out, you go on it, and if you want to go further, to jump in web TV, to do a local web TV, or a web TV for your company, well, you can jump in. It's easy to do. It's easy. Got to learn a bit on on YouTube, or on learning centers, or ask somebody who knows it, and to jump in. But jump in, do it,
I
do
think
it.
once you've done that as well, once you've tried with something, you can always change those bits, can't you? So you're saying like your phone, you can just change the phone to a camera,
Yeah,
microphone. Well, use the one that's on your laptop, and then as you go forwards, it's like now we'll get one that's not in our laptop.
it's
So it's a
it's
good
horrible.
starting point, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So the last question then, just something to sort of see what you think. But obviously, we had COVID 5 years ago, right? And we made big changes as an industry. From our side, as a production company, we watched everyone be told that they couldn't meet, and obviously thought everything was over. To be fair, at that point, we then embraced Femix and started to learn more and more about the AV over IP, but just sort of early doors. Um, that was 5 years ago. Now we're at a point where actually it looks like AV over IP is going to come in like all round. So where are we going to be in another 5 years? What do you reckon?
I think AI will be a big game changer for us as a production company, because we can produce faster. AI won't replace us as a person. I think there still will be person videos, but there's the whole workflow in which we are now will be influenced or be more productive with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
I just for an example, I set up a YouTube channel who was called Web TV Pro. There are about 180 videos or so. In 1 year, I did the whole production was made with AI, with the help of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very easy channel. It's not great great production. It's more e-learning, and it goes really fast if you automate your production. If you're one person stand like me, you can do it fast with AI. So if you are a company with 4, 5, or I don't know how much employees you can have, each of them can work with AI and on its part to do to be more productive,
Mm-hmm.
to do it faster or easier with the help of AI.
So
And
just like facilitating, really.
yeah, it's really this, and IP, of course, will be in it, and I think IT managers will get more and more to work in production companies, because there's the AI part, there's the API part, APIs programming languages. All this goes with it. So we as a production company will have it easier to get the work done, and it's challenging, but I really um, I really want to live it.
I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
That's kind of why we've ended up we kind of on a platform by accident, to be quite honest, in terms of like putting a product out and things. But the reason we've embraced that and the reason that we're moving forward is this, right? Like we want to see what happens next. I really want to see whether we can get it so that production
I
moves the
th-
switcher off the table and just embraces,
exactly.
like
I'm I feel I jumped in the AI, call it, in the AI thing when ChatGPT went live,
hmm
um, and I felt I had the same feeling as I went on internet business in 1995. It was
hmm
exciting because you can do many things. You can be very creative. Okay, sometimes less, perhaps a little bit less, but it's exciting. It's everything to be done.
yeah, no,
So
100%.
it's exactly the same feeling as I had in 1995 or 96. I can't remember, but it was the same excitement. Do what you want with AI.
I just think
Nearly.
it's a case now that everyone needs to sort of take a step back,
Yeah.
reconsider what is possible, because now instead of making technology to solve problems, and try to sort of run at that pace. We're now at a point where actually we've overtaken the problems, and we're now presenting solutions that mean that we can look at entirely different workflows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what do we do with that? Have we got a responsibility to be more sustainable and things? I don't know.
That's another question. Is it
Yeah.
sustainable? I don't know.
We'll see, won't we?
I've talked with people from Sony, from Grass Valley, from Panasonic, and so on on an article that I wrote for MediaQuest, which is a magazine in France.
Mhm.
And they told me the central point for sustainability.
Yeah.
Sorry if I speak it wrong. Is IP. IT and IP will bring a certain sustainability against it's not the right term, but they will bring the possibility to be more economic on sorry.
Resources? Do you like?
Yes, it will facility. It gives the facilities to be more clean.
Yeah. I mean, even to the point that we can make it like now, and this is sort of conversation we're having with clients really. Like, we're in a position now where we don't need to send everyone to the venue. We just need to send them a project manager to make sure
Yeah.
that they're happy, a general technician to make sure everything's just clipped in place.
Yeah.
That's actually all we need to send, right? And then everything else can happen where we are in the studio at home, yeah, whatever. But
could be in my bedroom.
exactly right, or multiple locations. So we've done tests actually where we've joined certain systems and shows, but not actually done this like live. So we've joined from a van that is literally going around the M25, so a big motorway in England, and connecting to a bridge signal using a hotspot from a phone, and literally taking the role of racks, like cutting the cameras and things remotely. So we're trying to do silly things to sort of prove that the simple things will work, That's the idea. But hey, it's been great talking to you. I do need to wrap up though, if that's okay. I don't know if you've got any other closing points at all. Perhaps if people are interested in what you do or things that you've put, you mentioned some articles and things.
Well, you might go on YouTube on Web TV Pro, where I had a lot of, well, it's in French, sorry, but or on my blog wayenborgh.fr, it's translated by Google. So you have an English version, a German version. It's written in French, but
that's the same. I think everything is multilingual these days,
Yeah.
Even the podcast here, like if you go on YouTube, you can just choose your language. So,
Yes. That's a good way.
Great. It's been great talking to you, actually. But I have to wrap up now, so I'll say goodbye. And
bye-bye.
We'll see who joins us on the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.